Welcome to RoguePlanetoid podcast, where each episode you can find insights for developers, whether you're a beginner or an experienced professional for Microsoft and related platforms, along with related technology and so much more to help keep current, keep coding. Welcome, I'm Peter, and this is episode 1 of the RoguePlanetoid podcast, where I'll give an overview of 2022 and discuss content creation with AI. However, it is great to say this is the very first podcast and episode I've done on my own. Although I've been involved with podcasts before, having written a few episodes for Scottish Murders, which is a fortnightly podcast dedicated to murders carried out in Scotland or of Scottish people, which included one about the Lockerbie bombing, and I also took part in the Ghost Hunt episode, which was part of a Scottish collaboration last year, and I'm even currently the voice of the intro to the Dawn's Digest feature. This podcast will be where I'll give insights for developers, whether beginner or experienced professionals, anyone using Microsoft and related platforms, along with any related technology and more. So here's an overview of 2022. For me, 2022 was the busiest year I've had as a developer, which included attending events, writing articles, and speaking at more events in a year than ever before. The main event for Microsoft developers last year was Microsoft Build 2022, which I attended and have been able to do so for the past few years as well. I was also able to get involved myself when I represented part of the community during one of the sessions where I spoke about what I'd been working on with the Uno platform, where I'd developed a Pomodoro application that I'd also done a talk about. And it was pretty cool to be part of this session and help represent the developer community at large. If you're interested in Microsoft Build and you want to check out anything about it, you can go to build.microsoft.com or you can check out the link in the show notes. 2022 also marked 10 years since I attended Microsoft Build 2012 in Seattle, where I not only made the most of the experience as a developer, but also took some time out to visit the Space Needle and a few places nearby. And I also took a trip to the Boeing factory and the Museum of Flight, which was incredible. There were some amazing things there to see. For .NET developers, there's also the .NET Conference, which is a virtual conference that's held each year. And 2022 saw the release of .NET 7, which is a standard term support version for 1 year, but .NET 8 will be released November 2023, and that'll be a long-term support version for 3 years. So .NET 7 is a pretty good stepping stone to .NET 8, but .NET 7 itself has some enhancements to performance and also fully integrates .NET MAUI, or the .NET Multi-Platform App UI, which allows developers to create native cross-platform desktop and mobile applications using .NET, and this replaces Xamarin. You can find out more about .NET Conf at .NETconf.net or check out the link in the show notes. Okay, next up, I'm going to talk about content creation with AI. 2022 saw the introduction of what would seem like magic just a few years ago, and now is reality with the launch of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an AI-based chatbot, able to respond to a variety of prompts from users. So I decided to put it to the test and got it to write an introduction about itself, with the prompt, write an introduction about ChatGPT. So it said about itself, ChatGPT is a state-of-the-art language model developed by OpenAI, which uses deep learning algorithms to generate human-like text responses. It is trained on a massive amount of data and can generate responses to a wide range of topics, making it suitable for various applications, including conversational AI, language translation, and text summarization. ChatGPT is designed to answer questions and provide information in a concise and informative manner, making it a useful tool for improving communication and solving problems efficiently. ChatGPT is not merely limited to answering questions by itself, but it can also produce astonishing content from the simplest of prompts. And as a developer, that's pretty cool. You can even use it to write code, although what it produces might not make sense or might not even work. In fact, at the moment, answers written by ChatGPT are banned from being used on StackOverflow.com as of recording this episode. Code generated by ChatGPT can be a good starting point, though, or can even help make understanding concepts a little bit easier by showing an example. One thing it is good at is generating test data, which at least doesn't need to be accurate or make sense. ChatGPT probably has a good place for itself in the workflow of a developer somewhere, even if it's just creating test data. But even developers can take advantage of the functionality by using an API in your applications. So if you want to try ChatGPT for free, although there is some high demand, so it might not be available, but there is going to be a paid tier which will allow you to use it whenever you want. To find out more about ChatGPT, then you can visit chat.openai.com or check out the link in the show notes. Microsoft Designer, as of recording this episode, is an invite-only service where you can create designs using a variety of templates. But something else it does support is the ability to create images from a prompt using DALL-E 2. which allows non designers to create original imagery. You could even combine these images with output from ChatGPT to create content from words and images in a reasonably acceptable way that wasn't even possible a few years ago. With Microsoft Designer, you could create an image using the prompt, say, computers in the style of Leonardo da Vinci, and you'd get an image that you could probably use in your design. With Microsoft Designer, the possibilities are pretty much endless, what you can use it for. It'll be interesting to see how people use Microsoft Designer to create their designs and see them shared on social media. But not only can you create images with AI using DALL-E 2, we can also create layouts based on dozens of templates with various options. There's options such as being able to have different fonts, colors, styles, and so much more. And it certainly makes it useful for developers like me or designers to produce content for their projects. If you want to try Microsoft Designer for yourself before it goes fully public, then look out for invites online, or I have 3 invites available, so feel free to request one from me on Twitter at twitter.com/RoguePlanetoid. You can also find Microsoft Designer at designer.microsoft.com, or you can check out the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening to the Rogue Planetoid podcast, where you can find insights for developers, whether you're a beginner or an experienced professional using Microsoft and related platforms, along with related technology and so much more. You can find any links in the show notes for this episode or visit rogueplanetoid.com/podcast for details of this episode and podcast. Keep current, keep coding. Rogue Planetoid podcast is a production of Clarinton.